Before we begin, I'd like to honor the veterans that are with us today. We have a couple of veterans who took their Stars and Stripes Honor Flight last year. We have some veterans who are about to take their Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. And then we also have some other veterans with us as well. So if you are a veteran, if you'd please either stand if you're able or raise your hand so we can acknowledge and thank you. Thank you all so much. We are so excited to announce that Wisconsin's three favorite sports teams, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Green Bay Packers, are banding together for a very special honor flight next month. The Stars and Stripes Honor Flight, Flight of Champions, will take 180 of Wisconsin's oldest veterans to Washington, D.C. on a one-day, all-expenses-paid trip of honor, gratitude, and healing. Of the 180 vets who will fly on the Flight of Champions on October 5th, we will have 6 veterans who served either in Korea or during the Korean War, and we will have 174 Vietnam or Vietnam-era veterans flying with us. These veterans will be transported on 3 aircraft. One airplane that will leave from and return to Green Bay's Austin Straubel International Airport. That plane will be sponsored by the Green Bay Packers. 2 planes will leave from Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport and return there as well. And those planes will be in partnership with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Milwaukee Brewers. It will be one day, 2 cities, and 3 teams working together to honor our veterans. This will be our 4th Flight of Champions, and we want to make sure that everyone knows that this really unique and exciting collaboration began right here in Green Bay with the Packers and our friends in Brown County. And I'd like to introduce Packers President and CEO Mark Murphy to say a few words about the Packers' involvement in the Flight of Champions. Mark?
Thank you, Karen. It's a pleasure to be here, and on behalf of the Packers, we're really looking forward to once again participating in this Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Just kind of as an aside, I was talking earlier, my father served in World War II, went right out of high school, and and he's passed away since then, but I just can't imagine how much he would have loved being part of something like this. When we lived in the Washington, D.C. area, he loved coming to Washington, and just so many of the monuments there and the National Cemetery. It's just it's really special, and really pleased that we can be a part of helping provide this. Beyond that, the Packers are also always very proud and show our support and appreciation for those who have served our country. We have our annual month-long Salute to Service initiative. We have outreach and donation to veterans and military groups that take place throughout the year. But I tell you, the honor flights are really something special, and we view that as a unique opportunity to really present an unforgettable experience for our veterans. On behalf of not only the Packers, but also, as Karen mentioned, teaming up with the Brewers, who are about to clinch a spot in the playoffs. Congratulations. And the Bucks as well. We feel privileged to support this flight. While we play different sports, we all share the same great respect for those who have served and are serving in our military. We appreciate all that our veterans have done, no matter when or how they served, and we take great pride in being part of this event to recognize and celebrate their service. We're pleased to have Packers personnel and alumni accompany the veterans on this Flight of Champions. Our alumni who have participated in the past have shared, and to listen and hear what they have to say about how moving it is when they see the veterans come, get off the plane and go into Washington, D.C. It's just really emotional. And to see the veterans as they visit the war memorials on October 5th, and we are very honored to be a part of it. Among those alumni who will take part this year, Dexter McNabb, Scott Wells, Amon Green, and Bill Schrader. I want to recognize Bill first for all that he's done for the Packers. He lives here in Green Bay. from Wisconsin. And he is always ready and willing, and really, we're very appreciative. We call on you a lot, Bill, but you're always there. He's participated in previous honor flights, and we're pleased that, again, he's going to be able to join us here and talk a little bit about what that experience has meant to him. And, again, thanks to all of you who make these events possible, and thank you, as always, to our veterans for their service. It's great to have so many of you here today. We appreciate all you have done for our country. And now I'll turn it back over to Karen to share a little bit more. Thanks.
Here's Bill to share a little bit of reminiscing from his past honor flights.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again. This will be my third honor flight, and it is more than an honor for me to go on this flight. I don't have any military family, but now I feel over the years of doing this, I now have a huge military family with all the people that I've met. I've got to meet Paula and her husband, and every year I see the big smile on her face when I get to step on the plane. And then the tears when I step off the plane of hearing all the stories and seeing all the memories that the veterans have. Now, being that some of you are going to be on the flight this year, I can't share any of the secrets, so I will kind of keep that. Those of you that have been on the flight, you know what I'm talking about. It's an experience that every veteran needs to be a part of. A lot of you didn't get the welcome that you needed when you came home. You didn't get what you should have received as being somebody who served for our country. This is a great way for these men to be there with friends, be there with other vets, to share those experiences, whether they're good or negative, but to get closure on some of this. And this is what I've learned over the years in seeing it. Some guys want to talk about it, some don't. But most of them, when they finally get there, they do. They want to open up. And then some of the other fun things and secrets that they get to experience on this flight are just, you have to be a part of it to understand what it is. So for me to be a part of it again is a huge honor for me. And any of you men or women that want to do this flight in the future, please do it. It's one of the greatest things that you can be a part of. You will never go home saying, oh, I wish I didn't do it. You're going to wish that you did it sooner. And this will be another great flight. Again, partnering with the Packers, the Bucks, and the Brewers. It's tremendous. There's so many people that when you get to DC, you think it's a Wisconsin takeover because our vets are everywhere and it's great. And to hear the stories is a wonderful thing from everybody. So thank you again for inviting me to be a part of this, and I look for another wonderful day. Pray for the good weather.
Thank you, Bill. Boy, yeah, you can really tell what a special day it is when Bill talks about and what it means to the veterans. And we are just so proud to be just a little part of bringing that to you, to thank you for all that you've done for us. And October 5th in Washington, D.C., the weather's going to be beautiful, and it's really just a special place to be. So we're really, really excited about it. It should be great. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Karen.
Thank you both. As Bill alluded to, the vast majority of our oldest veterans did not receive the welcome home that we all see veterans getting today. Our Korean War veterans, by and large, tell us that they came home to silence or disinterest, that people didn't understand why they were there or what they were doing. And I think many of us know that our Vietnam vets did not get the welcome home that they deserved. Many of them came home to scorn, criticism, just really terrible treatment. And an honor flight is a beautiful day where we as a community can rally together to finally give them the thanks and the welcome home that they deserve. We have two of our alumni veterans here today who took their Stars and Stripes honor flight on last year's 2023 Flight of Champions. And we'd like to ask them to come up and say a few words. I'd like to introduce you to Vietnam Army veteran Leon Stein from Sheboygan and Vietnam Navy veteran David Termott from Oostburg.
There isn't much to add to what Bill said. If you know a veteran who has not been on this flight, twist their arm, push them into it, whatever you have to do, get them to go on that flight. It is an amazing day. It's an experience you will never regret. And I was one who felt, I was in the Navy for 4 years, 66 to 70. And fortunately, I was on the East Coast most of that time. So wasn't really in Vietnam and in that action. And always felt that this wasn't for me. It was for those guys. And once you get there, they all kept telling me, sign up, go, you still deserve to do this. And I am so happy I did. And like Bill said and Karen, there was not a reception or a thank you when we came out of the service at that time. In fact, we kind of took our uniforms off before we got home because it was easier that way. And now, today, this makes it so special that these flights, they do such a wonderful job of transporting us, showing us all the things to see, shirts, jackets, a memory book. It's wonderful to see this all with other veterans, and I cannot say enough about it. Again, if you know a vet who hasn't signed up, get them to sign up, have them talk to other vets, whoever, but it's a day you cannot forget. And I'm sure if they go, they're going to be talking about it for a long time. So, thank you.
Thank you. There's much I can add to that. My name is Leon Stein. I'm from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I was a sergeant in the 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment, and my squadron's primary goal, our primary objective was to patrol the small segment of the Czechoslovakian border. I did that for 2.5 years. Like Dave, the flight was absolutely awesome. I mean, it's just an absolutely incredible day. I will never, ever forget that flight. To anyone who is thinking about going, maybe having a doubt, I can say you must go, you have to go. You will never, ever forget it. It's just an amazing, amazing day. But I would like to talk to you a minute about the experience I had with coming home. As Dave said, we weren't very welcome. In those days, we came home alone. I came home on January 4th, 1972. And as I was walking through O'Hare Airport, there were other GIs sprinkled around. There was a group of young people there, and they were throwing carnations at us. And they were calling us baby killers. And I didn't understand that. I just couldn't understand that. I was anxious to come home, and it was like, what's going on here? So I carried that with me for a long time. So 51 years later, I'm now on the honor flight, and I'm at the Vietnam Wall, and we're just getting ready to go back to the airport, and a young man and his 2 children approached me. And he was from Wisconsin, so we struck up a conversation. And at one point he said to me, I will always regret that I can never tell my children that I'm a veteran. What happened? What happened? What a turnaround. It's just an amazing, incredible turnaround. And I credit that turnaround to organizations like the Honor Flight, to the Packers, to the Brewers, and to the Bucks. I want to thank you on behalf of all veterans for making it possible for veterans to be veterans again, to be proud of being a veteran, to be proud of that they served this country. God bless you and thank you all.
Thank you so much, Dave and Leon. We appreciate you more than we can say. Now I'd like to turn it over to Joe Aulick, who is the Office Director of the Brown County Veterans Service Office, who has been a great partner and collaborator with us. Joe?
Thank you, Karen, and thanks for all the comments. And you know, we wouldn't be here without our sponsors. I do want to mention them. Thank you to the Green Bay Packers, the Snyder Foundation, the WPS Foundation, and the team that puts this together. I do want to recognize Troy Strickenbach, County Executive, Brown County. This was kind of his brainstorm many years ago. He kind of got involved in this. And I appreciate this, Troy. I really do. Thanks so much. He's my boss, and he's a good friend. And then I want to say one thing is, okay, we got to sign up for these flights. That's my job. I want veterans to sign up for these flights. I see a fellow CVSO, former CVSO shaking his head. How do you do that? How do you sign up for those flights? Many of these veterans aren't internet savvy. So you got county veteran service officers, you got tribal veteran service officers. Call their offices or go to honorflight.org and sign up online. But call their offices. I've signed up many veterans right over the phone. Let your fingers do the walking. Remember that in the old days? Just let your fingers do the walking. Give us a call, and we'll sign you up. So, hey, veterans, please sign up. That's the biggest thing. You have a mental wall to go through, and it's really tough for some veterans to go on these flights because they think someone else deserves it more than I do. Well, that's not true. I have an 80-year-old brother-in-law who can't go on the flight. He's got Parkinson's from Agent Orange exposure, and he goes, hey, Joe, I'd really like to go, but I just can't. So tell my fellow veterans, sign up for me, sign up for their family, sign up for themselves. So God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for your comments, for your service, and for your service to your fellow veterans. So some may be asking, how can we be involved and how can we help? And the way that you can be involved is to support the homecoming on October 5th. So if you are in the Green Bay area, the Austin Straubel International Airport would welcome you that evening for the 9:15 return of the Packers plane. So again, the Packers plane will return to Austin Straubel International Airport at 9:15 on October 5th. So we would encourage Green Bay's citizens to be out at the airport before that time. In Milwaukee, the planes will return at 8 o'clock and 9:30. So we hope that everyone in Milwaukee will turn out to Mitchell Airport as well to welcome our veterans home. For a bit more about what to expect at Austin Straubel International Airport that day, I'd like to welcome Airport Director Marty Piet for a few words.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it. As always, the Green Bay Austin Straubel International Airport is really excited and really honored to be a part of this year's honor flight. The environment, if you haven't been out to witness this, is incredible. It's electric, it's patriotic, it's emotional, but it's well worth the visit, and we are inviting everybody and encouraging everybody in our community to come out to the airport to welcome our veterans back. We heard that they did not get the welcome that they deserved the first time. We want to make sure that they get that welcome this time. As Karen mentioned, the flight is due in at about 9:15 p.m. We're asking citizens to come out at about 7 p.m. to start lining the path in the terminal building to welcome our heroes back. Parking will be free in our long-term and short-term parking lots. There is a little bit of construction, but nothing to worry about. Just be aware and follow all of the signage and all of our volunteers and staff members' directions. So finally, as Joe had mentioned, we thanked a couple of our sponsors. I want to touch on them again real quickly, thanking our major local sponsors, including Green Bay Packers Give Back. Also thanking the Schneider Foundation, including Colleen Steyer, who is here with us today. Raise your hand, Colleen. Thank you, and other members of the foundation team. Also want to thank the WPS Foundation and recognizing Pat Schillinger from the foundation, if you could raise your hand as well. Thank you for being a supporter and for being here today. We have a number of other in-kind contributors and assistants with this flight each year. The board here to my right lists some of those in-kind contributors. Please do take a look at that and recognize those local businesses that are helping us do this flight this year. Again, truly appreciate the support. And with that, I would like to hand it back to Karen.
Thank you, Marty. So we are looking forward to seeing everyone at Green Bay's Austin Straubel International Airport and Mitchell International Airport on Saturday evening, October 5th, to welcome our veterans home. With that, our presentation is complete, so thank you so much for joining us today, and we will all stick around for questions and one-on-one interviews if you'd like. Have a great day, and we'll see you October 5th.